What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every single day on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and the Dow Jones. We take a look at that at the end of the video. Don't forget, we also have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome community if you want somewhere to hang out and talk about crypto. Let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it, and always remember this is my opinion, not yours. Let's get into the news headlines. Just get a feel for the sentiment. Get set for Bitcoin halving. Here's what it means. That one's been up there for a while. Bitcoin halving could Bitcoin be about to make another huge move? Google algorithm update. Did Google just censor Bitcoin? A lot of people like drama and are going into that, and it's just Bitcoin. If you look all over YouTube, it's happening in all different channels, not just Bitcoin. So if they want to feel special and say it's about that, it's not. So anyways, Cambridge University releases new tool for tracking global data. Bitcoin pulls away from the stock market as price staying above 9,000. You know, people have put a lot of hope in this kind of stuff, guys, but watch when the Dow drops, Bitcoin will follow. Bitcoin node count falls to 3-year low despite price surge, blah, blah. So really bullish news, makes me more bearish. Let's look at the crypto fear and greed index. We are at 49. We raised 7 points from yesterday. We are in the neutral zone. First time we've been out of the fear zone for quite some time. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the monthly. As you can see, I have these two trend lines drawn here. Remember, this is the monthly chart. A monthly close above 93.40 would be pretty damn bullish in my opinion, and a close below 85.50 area. And again, we are early in the month still, so really this isn't too important at the moment. But let's watch the monthly, see what happens. Remember, we do have the 55 EMA all the way down here around the 5,400, which I think is a damn good chance that we go test that. I know a lot of people are saying you were bullish and blah, 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 and we go up a few hundred points and everybody's super bullish. We're going to the moon. I don't think so. Not yet, guys. I'm not saying Bitcoin's not gonna, but anyways, this is my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. There is a link below. Check it out. It's a great way to support the channel. And let's look at the weekly. So looking at the weekly, we'll talk about the RSI here in a minute. We've been talking about that, and a weekly close is going to be pretty important for which direction we may be headed. We do have this. If you look at the thicker white lines or blue lines, I'm not sure. I'm colorblind, and people say it's blue. I don't know which is which. But anyway, you see the big symmetrical triangle here. And right now we're going to take a look at the bullish and the bearish case scenario, guys. Even though I'm bearish, I could be wrong. I'm giving you both case scenarios. If we look here, we have a falling broadening wedge. And if we do a measured move, if we were to break out of that today, the target would be around 16,000 if we break the 10.5. That's the only thing that would make me bullish, guys. If we break and close a daily above about 10,550, if we were to do that, then I'll get bullish. Until then, I see no reason to be bullish. A lot of people are hyping this little pump here. I mean, zoom out. It's not anything different, and it's not that we can't expect another fall. I do believe we are going to have another fall here, in my opinion. Possibly, could we go as low as 45.70? Yes, but I think we're more likely around the 5,400 that I've been talking about for quite some time. There's also this trend line down here that could lead us all the way down to 2,800. And yes, if we came back and retested this trend line, 1,000 is possible. Now, I want to talk about this breakout. Obviously, it was a nice little breakout. I'm not saying it wasn't. But if you look at the volume here, we are still declining, guys. And we are in a rising channel. I had it as a rising wedge before. Rising wedge, rising channel. Either one is bearish to me. Like I said, as of right now, volume still declining within that. Yes, we had a little break here, but that did not break this formation. You got to pay attention to that. A lot of people. Oh, let's go back to the weekly real quick. I did want to take a look at the RSI. And as you can see, we are outside of this rising channel now. If we close outside of here on the weekly, that could be pretty damn bullish. I have a feeling that we'll most likely come back within it, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, go back over to the daily. All right, so as you guys know, I've been watching this rising broadening wedge that we dropped out of over here and said it is possible we come test the top. That's why that's on the thumbnail, the 10,180 range, 10,170. And then on the daily, I also put in, I know we were looking at this as a smaller bull flag, and we'll look at that in the 4 hour. But as of right now, measured move off that. If we were to break, we got to break this old high at 9,500 for this to be valid. But if we were looking at the old bull flag, got us up to that 10,186. If we look at this one, which I don't believe, guys, that we're going to break this. I believe we're going to come right back down here. At least test the bottom. If it breaks, then we got further down to go. If it does break, we could be looking at the $7,700 range. If we look at the EMAs here, they have all crossed bullish. The 8, the 20, or 13, and 21 have crossed the 200 EMA. The 55 seems to be coming up to cross. If it was to cross, it would be in the next week or so. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. It may come up and almost touch, but I still am believing I'm more downside. Let's do a measured move of this channel. If we were to fall down out of it, and these measured moves, like falling out of this channel, doesn't mean it's a straight drop. It could be jagged, could take weeks, whatever, but it's just the final target of coming out of here. If we were to drop out today, which I think is very highly unlikely, but if that was to happen and we broke out of the bottom of this, the target would be 54. Let's say we break out in a week or two, would be right here. I did a Fibonacci retracement from this swing low to this swing high, and yeah, this swing low to this swing high, and the 0.618 fib is right here at 6,000. I do believe we're most likely headed down to that range if the 7,700 doesn't hold. We do have the 0.236 up here at 81.73. I'm sure we would get a bounce there, but I don't believe that it would hold. We also have some support here at 8,500. But again, I'm still, people say, you've been so bearish and we're moving up. Well, we've been watching the same stuff here, and I'm bearish unless we break up out of this to the upside. So all these white numbers here are just the Fibonacci retracements from this swing low to this swing high. This is the 0.236. This 73.51 is the 0.382. The 0.5 is 66.70, and 5,070 is the 0.786, which would be very possible to come down, and this being a wave one then. But I have no reason to be bullish unless we break above that 10.5 and close a daily above it. So let's look at the RSI here on the daily. So also, guys, if you guys are interested in trading, I'm going to leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. Check it out. I have a promo code Savy50. Whatever you deposit up to 1 Bitcoin, they'll put a 50% bonus on top of it. Of course, you can't pull it out, but you can use it to trade with and keep the profit. So definitely check it out. There's also Savy25 to get you 75 or 25% off all your trading fees. But let's take a look at this rising channel here. We did get a bear trap or whatever. That was our big capitulation down here. Outside of that, but still looking at it for what it is. As you can see, we had a falling broadening wedge that we broke out of, broke bullish. Now we are in a rising broadening wedge. Could we come up and test the top of this? It is possible, and that would probably be around that 10,170 range. Do I think it's going to happen? Who knows? Maybe. I doubt it, but it's possible. But I do believe we're going to come back down and at least retest this, and that being the bottom of this channel, most likely. And if that breaks, yeah, we could be coming all the way back down to test the bottom of this channel. Could be as low as 6,000, or my target I've been looking at for a long time, 5,400. So we'll keep an eye on it as this plays out. We will continue to watch it. We are being supported on top of all the EMAs as of right now, so that does seem pretty bullish. Let's look at the 4 hour. Something I wanted to look at here in the 4 hour, and then we'll take a look at Ethereum and Litecoin. But as you can see, if we look at this orange line here, this was what we were looking at as a bull flag. I don't think that's what that was anymore. And the measured move off that was around the $10,000, or actually it was longer than that. That was the 10,178. But looking at it now, is it maybe a bigger pennant or a bigger flag here? And let me get this out of the way. It could be a rising broadening wedge too, but let me get that one out of the way there. Looking at it as, let's get this on here. If we were to break up, if this was the case, although I think we're coming down from here, and people have been saying we retested that. I want to show you we did not retest it. As you can see from these points here, from the top of the triangle, which we were looking at as a triangle, and again, I don't believe it's that anymore. We did not come down to test it. It never retested it. If we did come down to about the 89, well, actually, be over in here, about the 89.50 range. If it did test and bounce up, then I would go back to looking at that as a possible triangle. But what it looks like now is this most likely looks like what we're going to be doing here for a little bit, possibly. But when this breaks, we'll look at the measured moves for that. And if we were to break down, say we came back down to around where the top of this trend line here would have been, that would get us down to about the 7,700 range, which we know that has been support and resistance for a very long time now, which would now be support. I would expect to bounce there. Maybe that would be the break of this rising channel. Come back up, test the rising channel before coming down to our lower lows. Possibility, we will see. But yeah, if we're to break up here, guys, and break that 95, I'd be looking for about the 10,180 and a rejection there. If we were able to break that, rejection at 10.5. If we're able to break that, full bull. If we close a daily above it. But I'm still bearish here. No reason to change that. People keep saying you've been bearish, you've been bearish. Yes, I've been bearish because everybody is so damn bullish and thinks it's just going to go to the moon. I don't think that's going to happen at all. So don't take my word for it. Do your own due diligence and your own research. Let's look at the RSI. So the RSI looks like we're in a rising wedge in the RSI. We've had our two touches up top, two touches at the bottom. We have not touched it again. As you can see, it'll touch, well, actually touch top, bottom, and then it never touched the bottom again. Well, top, bottom, top. Looks like we're going to come down for one more touch here. If not, could this possibly be an inverse head and shoulders forming here? Definitely a possibility. And to get a huge run up, I think that would consist of turning bullish for me. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin, as you can see, we have this long-term falling channel, rising channel within. We broke down out of. Looks like we're going to be coming to test this, and that would be around the bottom of this channel. I switched this to a channel also, and we'd be probably looking around the $43 range if this was to break. The bearish case scenario could get us all the way down to around that $30 range. Of course, we have from the swing low to the swing high, we have the 0.618 at around 34, which is most likely the area I'm looking at for my target. Now, if we are to break up out of this trend line here, most likely come up and test the top of this trend line around 55, but we would have to break the old high at 51. If we are able to break that and break up out of this channel, which I doubt, but it's possible, we'd be looking around the 60, depending on where we broke out, obviously, his target would move a little bit around the $65 range. But we do have the 0.618 fib of this bigger move, swing high to the swing low around 71.77. I would expect pretty hard rejection there. Maybe come back down and test the rising channel before continuing up. But again, I think we're most likely going to break down out of here, guys. That's not saying we can't come up and test the top again around 55, somewhere in there, which would bring the RSI back up to test in here also. But it does look like we're most likely headed down to retest the bottom of this channel, in my opinion. Ethereum. So Ethereum, same thing, rising channel. If we were to break up out of this rising channel, that would be breaking around the $245 range. Would get us to test this old top over here at 289. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't think so, but keep in mind it's possible. I think we're going to break down, and the targets there are around 135 to 142. The 142 is 0.618 retracement from the swing low to the swing high. I do believe we're most likely going to come back down to this area, guys. We could get a push up out of here. I'm looking at this as a falling wedge. If we did, we would come back up to retest this long-term trend line, which would be around the 235 range. If that was to break, then we're most likely going to break up out of this rising channel, but I doubt it. Again, I could be dead wrong, so keep that in mind. But I would say the 142 region would be a good retracement for Ethereum. Let's look at RSI. Obviously, rising channel. We fell out of it and came back up. Actually popped back inside a little bit. Came back up a second time, retested it, and we're getting rejected there. So, yeah, I'm still bearish, guys. Regardless what's going on right now, there's no reason for me to be bull unless we break this high over here at, well, actually, we would have to break this high at 253 to be really bullish on Ethereum. We would have to break the $64 range on Litecoin for me to be bullish, and the 10.5 on Bitcoin. We'll see what happens here. Should be pretty interesting rest of the week, guys. Let's look at the pre-market. As of right now, let me refresh. Dow is up 288, so it does look like we could pump. We have an hour before opening, so anything could happen. It could reverse, and they could start dumping. But let's take a look at where we're at on it. And this is the 4 hour, and we're falling back. As of yesterday, we were falling back to this white trend line that we broke out of, broke back up inside, and you look at it, I have it as a rising channel because we were getting support here for quite a while, and now I believe we have broken out of a falling wedge, and the target of that is 20,300 points. And it looks like if we break this 55 and close open and close a 4 hour today at some point below 23, let's just say 23,550, then we are most likely headed down to my 20.3 target. It's not going to happen in a day, guys. None of this happened in a day, as you can see, but this is where I would see us. If we do not get support there, I have lower targets. You can check out my other videos. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Click the CryptoSavy logo above my head if you want to be subscribed to the channel. And make sure when you do that, click the bell and then click the all for the notifications so you get notified when I post videos. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm out.